Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, I wanted to have a look back at some of the best money makers in the summer. Obviously, Necromancy released a numerous amount of money makers, which kind of weren't money makers before, and they really did peak in the summer just before Necromancy was released. So for a couple of videos over the Christmas period, I'm just going to go back 6 months later to see, look, how are these methods doing now? Are they still worth doing? A lot of the monsters involved were related to like Slayer tasks, so you've got Rune Dragons, Addy Dragons, Wyverns. All these monsters like got completely pushed through to the moon because the price of their drops went skyrocketing. Now a lot of these were linked to like the possibility of using them in rituals, using them in Necromancy, and as the hype for Necromancy has died down, there is still the possibility that these are top quality moneymakers which are still making profit, but just less people are doing them now, so maybe they're still the same profit per hour or even more profit than what they were. So one of the ones which was really standout over the summer was Krill. Now Krill, the Zammy boss in God Wars 1, at some points was up to 20 mil profit per hour as the price of subjugation went through the roof. Now because of how subjugation has been released and used in Necromancy, it's possibly better than what it was in terms of like drops and stuff before Necromancy release. So before Necromancy release, the hype was mainly about the garb and the gown, the body and the leg armor of the subjugation. However, now subjugation is used for every armor apart from the ward. And because of that, because you're not going to get more cloth from the top rather than the boots, everything is the same price. So because of that, like whereas before you were hoping for a gown and a garb, nowadays any subjugation piece is going to basically be 8.2 mil for the drop. And the only one which is really falling behind is the ward, which is 500k, but that's because it's not linked into Necromancy. If you hit any of the subjugation armor, that's 8 mil. And for a God Wars 1 boss, which you're going to be killing like upwards of like 70 kills per hour, especially with Necromancy, which is absolutely OP to kill it, you're going to be making quite a lot of profit per hour, and you're going to be getting quite a decent pet log as well. If you've not completed the Krill pet log by now, there's no real better chance. Now, there was a better time to do it in the summer when the prices were absolutely skyrocketing and you had something like 20 mil for a garb and gown. Those prices will never be back again, but now is probably the better time for the next foreseeable time. Jump in and make the money and also complete the pet log while you're here anyway. So what we're going to go and do is going to go and visit Krill again. Do an hour or two, just see how it is, see if we get lucky, see if we don't get lucky. But from what the wiki quotes, it's going to be like roughly over 10 mil per hour for like a max main. Alts or lower to mid-level accounts are still pulling something like 8.5 mil-ish per hour, just due to the sheer amount of drop chances. Because of this as well, something like this, the Bond account is definitely going to visit Zammy as its first God Wars boss as well. And maybe its first pet log, because it's going to make such a sheer amount of money just through like AFK boss kills. It's going to have to do a little work before it can get there, but it's probably the best entry-level boss now for PVM, in my opinion, for both profit and just trying to understand what you can do. You can have a play around with your action bars, play around with the mechanics. You've got plenty of things now with safety nets to make sure you don't die, even though dying doesn't really like majorly affect. And because of war as well, you don't have to run all the way back up to God Wars. So what I'm going to go and do first is go and charge my Totem Anachronia. Now, if you don't know, I believe it's a totem intimidation. It means you can skip God Wars 1 KC. Now, you do have to go and grab some things from Anachronia, and it is a bit of a time investment to do. But by recharging this every week, I do not have to get any KC at God Wars 1. Incredibly useful if you are planning to do really useful if you're going to be doing a lot of trips. If you're going to go for the pet logs, and if you're going to be spending a lot of time in God Wars 1, basically. Right, so that is now done, and now I'm able to go and get KC. So, I just wanted to run through my Invo and Armor. Nothing too manic, but just wanted to go through it. So, Spring Cleaner for all the rune drops which Krill will drop. Excalibur just in case I need the heals. Normal overloads are good enough to do here. Don't waste your high tier overloads, they're just not worth doing. Anti-poison because Krill does poison and poisons hard. Couple of brews just as an emergency just in case. The Bunyip as well. Restore, magic notepaper, and my ectoplasm, which I pretty much always seem to forget. Now, the good thing about the ectoplasm now and all this is that now I can conjure my undead army and just run rampage with all 3 familiars, nice and easy. In terms of the action bar, it's nothing special, and again, what I always suggest is for you guys to have a play around, see what works best for you. I always go more of a safe AFK route because I just play AFK on the main account. But again, if you wanted to do more sort of DPS damage, get the DPS familiar, get all the other things as well. In terms of an aura, you can use one, but I don't think you really need one for Zammy. Just before we go as well, really quickly, the armors. Now, use whatever best necromancy armor you have. A couple of things I use though, which stick out. Demon Horn Necklace, plus or tuned ectoplasmator. Basically means it's free prayer, and free soul split. So definitely do that. Best necromancy armor, death dealer again, as always, disclaimer, could be better because of the death mark effect. Best necromancy DPS cape you've got, best necromancy weapon sets you have as well. And then that's pretty much it. So because of the demon horn and ectoplasmator, you pretty much gonna get free prayer. So the point of Zammy really is just to sit and pray soul splits and go from there. You'll never really struggle, and especially like with a higher level of necromancy, if you like 90 plus necromancy and you can do things like the talent tree extra abilities, you will melt through this. If you are a newer level to PVM and combat and you're something like level 70s base or 80s, I still think necromancy is the best way for you to go. But again, try over combat style, see what works best for you. Definitely unlock war, so you got the teleport here to make it a bit quicker. And if you got the ability to do Anachrony as well, do the totem because it is worth it. It is a little bit of work to get, but it will help train up certain stats. I believe you have to go around the agility course. So you're going to get some agility XP just by doing that as well. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to AFK for a little bit. I'm going to go and just basically do some Zammy AFK and then play on the Bond account. Get some progress done while just purely AFK in this, and hopefully we can pick up some drop or two and then go from there. But if you are a lower level, I would definitely suggest Necromancy being your level or your way of combat to do here. I'd suggest 80. Oh god, shot 2. 80 would be pretty good to get consistent speed, but if you're lower than that and you're feeling as if you can handle it, by all means come and give it a try. Lower levels though, I'd probably be looking at a Vampora, and if you've not got a Vampora yet from War, this could be the perfect boss for you to build up your marks of War to be able to unlock it. One thing I forgot to mention as well, depending on if you've done it or not, if you're looking for Zammy components, because Zammy components are quite pricey, get rid of your War Priest, because if you're going to do something like the collection log for the boss pet, or if you're going to do a decent stint at Krill, you will earn yourself so many War Priest drops. Now, they only give one Zamorak component per drop, but if you're trying to get some of the top tier perks which do use Zammy components, and they do have a price towards it, you may as well aim to do it through War Priest, and you can basically get some really high tier perks for free. So, yeah, that's one thing I've added as well. Like, I've been doing Zammy for a couple of times. I've already got 12 perks for free, and recently I've just completed the Sara log. I've got just under 70 Sara perks just from camping that boss. Armadale, I've done 87, and these are not by breaking down armors, these are just by breaking down War Priest. So if you're looking to do a decent stint, really highly recommend to destroy the War Priest. It's not really got a use. I'd probably say Sara is the best War Priest anyway, but let me know what you think down below. But yeah, if you're looking for some free Zammy components, that is definitely one way you can do it. So there is 117 Necromancy on this journey. 3 more levels till we are maxed. Not gonna lie, this level, Absol Beast, absolutely came in clutch, and we did an awful lot of AFKing while doing editing. I'm not gonna lie, probably for the rest of this, apart from the occasional boss trip, if I want to go and do some like videos or boss logs or anything else, we're pretty much gonna be doing Absol Beast for the majority of it. But yeah, we've really done some progress with Necromancy lately, and we're really starting to rack the levels up. And not only that as well, we're getting close to the big cake. Will I get it by the end of the year with 16 days left? I mean, I won't see sunlight, and I don't see sunlight anyway, so I'll see even less of what we already do. So probably not, but we could definitely get it early next year, and at least be able to keep up with other things as well. So by the end of this year, I want to tick off all of the levels I've got close to 120. So that's going to be something like five different skills will get it to 120. If I can get Necromancy with them, that'd be pretty cool. And then it would just leave me with 3 then. Prayer, Fletching, and Fire Making. To be fair, with Fire Making as well, I could squeeze that quite happily with protein logs. Maybe just sit at World 84 and just AFK away doing protein logs on this account while we're just doing the other projects as well. It's all options. We're looking good. Although I did try and do some bones with the powder of burials, and I'm not gonna lie, it was painful. So that was a pretty nice hour, very AFK, and I actually did get a level. 117 Necromancy is what we've been able to achieve. More of the Necromancy journey videos are going to come at some point, but we've just been managing to push forward some slightly more relevant content lately. But The series will catch up quite quickly over Christmas. I've got them ready, I just need to get them edited and then released, but they will be coming at some point very, very soon. So in terms of a trip, we didn't do too bad actually. We managed to pick up a guard, which was 8.2 mil. The spear at 1.1 mil is not horrific, and we picked up a couple of shards as well, and the wine of Zamorak. Even though it's gone through the floor, it will add a little bit of value as well. So 10 mil for probably something like an hour and 15 minutes. I went past my overload doses because you don't really need overloads to kill Zammy, and because of the things like the healing familiars and the ghosts as well, you just get by and you just do it pretty easy. But Krill is still real good profit, and it's my absolute recommendation for people who are starting against PVM, starting to want that first boss drop log and the first boss pet to build off as well. I think if you're going to start off the Krill in terms of your first boss log, you will make 100 mil pretty easily, and even if you got lucky, I'd probably stick around for a couple hundred kills for Krill, and then you'll make a decent amount of GP with it as well. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Like I said before, there's going to be a couple more we're going to look at. We're probably going to pay a visit to the Metal Dragons over Christmas as well to see if they're just as good. The bone prices really have settled since Necromancy, so we're going to go and pay a visit for all the different bosses, all the different monsters as well, to see what we can possibly do and possibly look to achieve in terms of GP per hour. Are they still worth doing, or has Necromancy and the change in Necromancy completely killed that method dead? A little bit of a mini-series, but it's revisiting some very high-profit moneymakers to see if it's still worth doing, or if it's worth forgetting and moving on and looking at all the new stuff now available to make your profits from. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Please make sure to drop comments on suggestions for more future content you want to watch, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So close to 3,000 subscribers now, and I can only thank you guys so much for that as well. We've absolutely smashed like the past 6 weeks in terms of subscriber numbers, comments as well. It's great to see you guys helping each other out in the comments, as well as picking out little things that I've missed. Again, I do say like, I'm going off my experience of using that method or training that method as well, and as well as some form of guides. People who are more efficient than me and who've done that method a lot more than me as well will be able to pick out little things which can improve it. But I really do appreciate you guys dropping those in the comments as well to help other people out. It really does sort of bring more value to the video as well to have your guys' great comments at the bottom as well. But thank you guys for watching again. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.